now, thank you so much. Now we hand it over to you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Nidhi, for that kind introduction. I'm requesting, we have a lot to discuss today. I am requesting Jayesh to put the panelist profile here so that we can focus more on discussion. That is what I discussed with him in the morning. Once again, very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. While seeing all of them, actually I'm speaking to all four of you, you remember there is a unique situation. While sitting over there, thinking about you, I remembered, it's very unique situation, I remembered when I met you for the first time. I don't think so you remember that. Satish ji, I met you in your Alumetic office. You were with Alumetic, which was very near to RCP. YP ji, I met you in Mr. Mario's, he's taking the photos in Mr. Mario's clubhouse. That is what the first window draft standard meeting, the technical meeting, the first one. Avanish ji, probably I met you recently only, in your office. But then I met Jains before you started getting into UPVC windows. They had the entire Reliance team gave them the presentation. And Murthy ji, it is very unique. We met in Bhopal. We were discussing with, we were actually giving presentation to Bhopal Housing Board on UPVC windows. The point is the point is not where I met you for the first time. The thing is, it is almost 2 decades. All of you look the same. But the thing is, industry has changed a lot. There were ups and downs, vibrancy, a lot of technical developments. That is what we are going to discuss. With that in backdrop, with all of you, it is 2 decades, even for me, in UPVC windows. Can we have a sneak peek into the industry? I would like to start with YPG, he being our senior veteran. So what was it? I want to understand your journey, but then in very brief, because we need to discuss a lot of things after that.
Thank you, Aruna. Yes, it's been a long time, 2 decades. I'll put it in 3 parts to it. When we started in 2002 and 2003, wood was one of the most common material which was used, of course, and aluminium. And PVC was known as plastics, and plastic did not have very good connotation with the audience. Therefore, we had a big challenge of promoting UPVC as a product which can last for decades. That was the first experience we had. The second part was convincing the builders, because we went with the project market. They were using wood and aluminium. And PVC at that point of time also was slightly expensive than aluminium. Convincing them to use a material which is plastic, which is not known in India. And second, being expensive. For builder, it is a big thing. So that was the second biggest challenge we faced with the UPVC windows. And the third, somewhere around 2010, I would say, putting this UPVC windows for the retail market segment and delivering one window to our customer somewhere, anywhere in this country was a big challenge. So setting up the infrastructure for delivering and execution of windows at the retail customer front, I think the last 10 years has been the primary focus on the retail segment. And that's, I would basically say the retail market has led this growth into the UPVC industry.
Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We started our commercial production in 2009. Yeah, I'm sorry. We started our commercial production in 2009. Still, is it? I think it's on. We started our commercial production in the year 2009. Since then, it has been an incredible journey. We accomplished a lot of milestones and also faced a lot of challenges, especially unforeseen during the pandemic. So when we started off in 2009, there were very few extrusion companies in India. So the first thing we did was we set up a dedicated technical team which would exclusively support fabricators. So over the years, we have had various strategies implemented with various initiatives depending on the various stages of evolution of the UPVC industry. So initial years were spent on establishing the fabricator network and thereafter expanding the network. Our fundamental objective always has been and always will remain that we need to be and we will always be a one-stop solution provider for our fabricators, a reliable partner, a loyal partner. We not only supply profiles to our fabricators, we provide them technical support, training, marketing support, 360-degree support. So the first 7 years were spent in establishing our network. Thereafter, we stepped our efforts in marketing and increasing the demand or the business potential for the product. When we started in 2009, we had 4 extrusion lines with 20 dies. Today, we have 24 extrusion lines, 156 dies spread over a factory of 250,000 square foot. And last year, we sold 12,000 tons of profile. This is a small snapshot on my journey and the company's journey in the last 14 years.
That's amazing, Murthy ji. Avanish ji.
Thank you, Aruna ji, and good morning, everyone. Most of the challenges already YPG has already covered as a UPVC industry, but here let me start with the group. Back in 1961, our visionary chairman, Mr. D.C. Jain, embarked on a transformative journey that would forever change the industry, starting from the extruding the strips for the crane furniture, then PVC pipe, CPVC pipe, water hand pump technology, magnetic sealing system. And finally, in 2006, we ventured into the UPVC doors and window extrusion business with a technical collaboration with one of the leading company of the United Kingdom. What we did, we tropicalized the product as per the Indian climatic need and consumer requirement. We had started with a very normal casement and sliding series, but today we have almost all the product range in our basket. Even I can say that we have the solution for every situation. We have started with the white, but now we have the multiple color option as well to make the life of our consumers colorful. In the past 17 years, we have increased our capacity almost 4 times, and continuously we are adding value to our community, society, consumers, and our mother nation through our innovation with our industry colleagues. Thank you.
And Satish ji, thanks Avanish ji. Satish ji, you are in a very unique situation, from machinery for a long time to profiles. How is it? How is the journey?
Well, good morning, everyone. Before machines, I was in aluminium industry. So I've seen the PVC industry's growth from the outside and also from the technical side, offering machines to the industry. And now, last 9 years with Deceuninck, trying to make changes in the market. The window industry from, say, 96, it has seen a big revolution. 99 was the first time PVC came to India. When I started in the aluminium industry, there was this LG in Coimbatore which started the PVC windows. At that time, I was competing with them. And then in 2004, I joined Elumatic. So I became kind of a vendor for the PVC window industry. But what really opened my eyes was when me and YP was in Poland to visit one big producer who was making 2,000 windows every single day. That was when I really thought, okay, this is the future for the PVC window industry. And given the population, the kind of dynamics India has got, I'm sure India would be very close to Poland or any other major market in the future.
Thank you all of you. YPG, you said, from mere hole in the wall to energy-saving material. We have come a long way, right? So,
yeah, as the demand of UPVC in windows continue to grow, the concept of self-reliance is becoming increasingly important. When it comes to the self-reliance in UPVC industry, self-reliance refers to the ability to manufacture almost all the required components in our country, India, starting from compounding additives to the compound, to the extrusion, to hardware. The benefit of self-reliance is very clear. Through this, we can have entire control over the supply chain process to avoid any disruption at the later stage. Additionally, self-reliance can lead to the cost saving and increased efficiency as well. But if you look at the challenges, there are the challenges too. One of the major challenges which I foresee is the initial capital investment to establish the required production capabilities. Additionally, manufacturer may face the challenge to get the required skilled manpower and more importantly, the required production technology. But despite all these challenges, the opportunity for self-reliance in UPVC window is promising. Through this, we can be well positioned ourselves to meet the growing demand of the customers and we can be cost competent in today's competitive market. Overall, the possibility and the future of the self-reliance in UPVC window is promising because through this we can offer a numerous benefit to the manufacturers as well as the consumers alike. Thank you.
Very nice answer. Satish ji, it's a very difficult question for you because you don't extrude in India, right? And we have been talking about it, Deceuninck starting extrusion in India. You feel extruding in India is only the way to counter the cheap imports or what is it?
It's a very interesting question. I think India is a very different market. Okay, I look after Southeast Asia and Australia. So when I visit these countries and I look at India, India is very unique. When you say extruding in India is the only way to compete with, say, local and, say, the imports, I would say, when you're extruding in India and trying to sell a profile and your competition is selling the profile at the price of the raw material, it's not a fair competition. Okay. So as an extruder or as a window supplier or window manufacturer, I think we have to think beyond what we are doing. We have to look at what the customer needs, what the end customer wants, and try to cater to that particular niche. I think for all of us here as extruders or window manufacturers, we have to do the market segmentation and choose which market we have to be. Because I think one product doesn't fit for all. It doesn't work because the price dynamics of certain, say, Eastern producers or importers is completely different. Okay. At the same time, I think Murthy mentioned about the CAGR of the window industry. Okay. For a global investor, it's not only the CAGR, they are looking at what the market growth going to be in terms of technology. Okay. That is where I think most companies are trying to feed into the price level and not looking at the future, what is required for the market or what is required for the, say, the country.
To UPVC windows.
I'll take a view of the global in this case. So if you look at the market share in the global market, UPVC constitutes somewhere between 40 to 60%. Exceptions are there, some countries are even 90%. And the balance is typically system aluminium and the wood. In India, when we started this journey, we were at zero. In 2022-23, I think we are around about 20 to 30% market share. And considering the global benchmark, I think we should be able to, in next decade, bridge this gap to 30 to 40%, which means almost double what we are doing right now would be done in the next 10 years. What we have done in the last 2 decades would be done in the next 1 decade. So that is the perspective from the global side. On the Indian context, if I talk about, I don't have the real numbers in terms of how many fabricators we have. But in terms of extrusion, I think we have now roughly around a dozen plus extrusion companies, 30. And we're churning 1 lakh ton PVC profile at this point of time, which is a huge benchmark, I think, for the profile industry. And in the next decade, I'm seeing this to at least double or triple. That's the volume which we're expecting to happen in this decade.
That's wow. And in terms of fabricators, Mario can correct me, I think it's 2,000 plus? It's 5,000? That's 5,000? Murthy ji, you have seen, we have been talking, we have been collecting data. You've seen all the ups and downs. You've seen peak pandemic time. You've seen very high PVC prices, additive prices, metal prices. So I'm asking you about this current economic outlook for PVC. How do you perceive?
See, the UPVC industry has gone at a CAGR of almost 18 to 20% since early 2000s to 2022. And if you see the last financial year, the Indian housing real estate has grown by 50% year on year. There has been an addition of almost 101% of, there is a 101% growth in new launches. As we have been talking since yesterday about the robust Indian economy, it is going to grow from $3.5 trillion to 7 in the next 10 years. The Indian real estate industry is going to grow from $180 billion to $1,000 billion in the next 10 years. What I would like
the apartment or the building. So what kind of studies has been done by the industry on this?
YPG, would you like to take the question?
Sure. So the first part is the building codes. There is an NBC which is already there, which specifies what is the type of wind load which you need to cater for the product. So all this product which we are talking about is being tested for those wind loads, air and water permeability. The second part is the weather resistance, which is typical for the Indian climate conditions. And basis the data what we have tested these profiles for 20,000 hours of accelerated weathering test to see if there are any changes on the color. So both on the visual part of it as well as on the performance, which is wind load, air and water. You'll be surprised to know that this is something we started 20 years back. Till then, windows were never looked as a part of structural part of the building. So we are very hopeful, and we have seen this practically also. Windows which are installed in coastal regions and which have seen the hurricanes, they have stood there without any problems. I think that's a testimony we have now.
Thank you. I think, okay, last question. Lian, you're going to run again. You got it.
My name is Rajaram from Chemplast. I understood that this industry is facing a lot of issues from cheap quality imports through profiles. So is the industry addressing on this issue so that the operating capacity of this industry can go ahead?
Satish ji, would you want to take? Anybody, yeah?
Yeah. What you are saying for the, yes, no doubt we are facing the challenges for the low cost profile imports. For that only, you know, this the code BIS which has come into picture, where, you know, all these profiles are getting to be tested as per the BIS standard, where at least some standardization there will be there. Because, you know, like the other industry, like recently the same thing has been happened in the glass, similar way is going to be happen here also. If anybody who is getting the profile from any one of the country, at least they need to ensure whatever the bare minimum requirements are there, just to ensure a fair platform and not to only to cut down the cost. In a cut short, I can say that the initiative which as an organization, UDMA, we have took, and government has supported us to come up with the standards for the UPVC profile. Through this standard, certainly there can be a barrier for the profiles or for the other things which is coming here on the lesser cost. Because then when the quality will be standard, then everybody need to play on the same platform.
Excellent. I think with that, we're going to ask our moderator to please hand over the mementos to our dear panelists. Aruna ji, can you step forward?
Thank you so much from the UPVC window industry for giving us the opportunities. We have also a speech in the afternoon from our UDMA chairman. I can see some more hands. You can either in offline or you can.
We can have the Q&A cards, and we'll connect you to the panelists, please.
Yeah.
Team, we can give the Q&A cards and take them back. We'll connect you after the conference to the panelists. Aruna ma'am, please come forward. Also, one point, ma'am, what I wanted to share is that I'm not sure whether the audience in the country, they are aware of what the UPVC windows, the product is there, you know. Because when we buy a flat, we just use whatever is given by the builder. We may put curtains, we may recolor our walls, few of us. Otherwise, we do not do anything with the windows. Whatever we get with the flat, we take. In Bombay, the flat. And people from other better places where you can build your own houses, they probably, you would have the option of building your own windows. I'm just saying that as a normal user, the advantages of your windows, you probably need to convey to the general public first, so that they know that they have an option to buy those windows and what are the advantages that the windows will provide. And once the house is built, you can repaint, you can change your curtains, you can probably choose your outside door, you know, the main door, the people would like to put. Otherwise, we don't touch the windows also. Who does the touching? No one does that. So please tell the people what your product is. That is from me as an outsider. Thank you. Aruna ma'am, we'll hand over the memento to
Mr. Satish Kumar,
Group Business Development Director, Deceuninck Group. Thank you, Satish. What an interactive and extremely enthralling panel.
Our next memento to Mr. YP Singh, the Technical Director for Fenesta Building Systems. Yes, to Mr. YP Singh, the Technical Director at Fenesta Building Systems. Our next memento to Avanish Singh from DCJ Group.
May I request Deepak sir to please come on the dais to hand over the memento to one of the few women who are in the industry. We would have loved to have many, many more.
And to Mr. U.S. Murthy as well. We'll just have Ms. Aruna Kumari present the memento to Mr. U.S. Murthy. After which we request Shri Deepak sir to present the memento to Ms. Aruna Kumari as well.
Aruna ma'am, you're lucky to get your memento from our dear Joint Secretary Sir, Shri Deepak Mishra, who is very, very attentively hearing all the speakers and making notes. We've done that. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, before we break for tea, I would request you to just